I'll read one more poem from this book. This is about one of those lovers, a man named Nello Pirelli. I hadn't thought about Nello in a long time, but then I watched that Joaquin Phoenix movie, Walk the Line. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it is...
It's the one before her.
I'm sorry?
One before her.
Yeah. Oh, the one before her.
Yeah, her is the current.
Oh, the current, yes, the current one, the current one. Yes, before he went crazy and then came back to sanity, right? And I was very skeptical about that movie because I love Johnny Cash, and I thought, well, there's no way that he's going to be able to do this, and of course he did a splendid job. And as I was watching that film, if you remember, the scene where he finally gets to see the record producer, and so he starts playing some old-timey gospel song, and the record producer says, no, don't play me any of that crap. I want you to play me something from your heart. I want you to play me something like it's the last song you're ever going to play. I want you to play like you're playing for God. And then he breaks into this soulful rendition of Folsom Prison Blues. And when I saw that, I remembered this person because it was his favorite song. He used to sing it around our house all the time. So I couldn't rest until I did something about it and wrote this poem. The poem is in ballad meter stanza, a loose ballad. The rhyme moves around a little bit to honor the Johnny Cash song. And it's called Blues Man. And it begins with an epigraph from Folsom Prison Blues, which I will attempt to sing. I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antone. Gravel-voiced boyfriend, our mother's weekend lover, lean-hipped, broad-grinned, easy like a brother. The kind of man who'd walk in the house and make the women cry. But first we'd feed you, fry the mess of fish you'd caught, broil the frozen steaks we'd saved for and bought for your too rare return. We'd bring out liquor, scotch and ice would swish and ring against the glasses for days, and you'd sing. Johnny, Hank, or Roy, any blues song would do. How amazed we were our mother loved you. Too young, too risky, too married, and too free, for a widow with 3 daughters and 2 grown sons. The boys gave themselves to envy and to rage. We gave ourselves to hope in you, as if you could save us in your cowboy hat and jeans, drive us out of that place in your rusty Mustang, sing us somewhere we hadn't ever been, your Folsom and your San Quentin blues, prisons different from our own. But if death couldn't keep you, how could we? The story of your drunken drive, likely true, but not the ending. I still see you climbing out the driver's side door, long legs first, then that grin. I watch you stride slow, away from the burning wreck. You don't hear us calling. You're singing as you go.
Oh.
Another one of my obsessions is my difficult, charming, lovely, exasperating mother. She died 4 years ago after a pretty short illness. And we had a complicated relationship. All mothers and daughters, I think, have complicated relationships. And I began to write poems as she was ill. I've always been writing poems about her. In fact, that Other Mother's poem, when that book came out, my mother didn't really know I was a poet. She wasn't really interested in words. She had other interests. So when the book came out, my sister took it upon herself to read some of the poems to her from the book. She told me this on the phone from Florida, and a dumb silence on my end, and I said, well, what'd she say? And she said, oh, she beamed. And then she said, I didn't know Angela was writing poems about me. So I took that as the imprimatur to be able to do that and read them publicly. So this book contains a number of elegies, actually, about this sense of loss, this mother-daughter relationship, and it also has other poems like the other mother's poem. The core of the book, though, is a sonnet sequence. It's a corona of sonnets. And I was very attracted to the corona quite accidentally because while my mother was undergoing surgery 1,000 miles away and I was stuck here in a blizzard and could do nothing about it, I was driven to write a sonnet. And then that, of course, was not enough. So I just took the last line of the sonnet and I wrote another sonnet. And then I took the last line of that sonnet and wrote another sonnet. And before I knew it, I had a corona. And it gave me an immense sense of satisfaction to know that I could at least control what was going on here, even if I could not control what was going on 1,000 miles away. So I won't read the whole corona, but I'll just read the first poem from it. And it's called A Blessing from My Mother. Today I spit into my hand and blessed my mother, traced a salivary cross across her dry brow. It caught the winter light like chrism on an infant's new skin. Bliss of my mother's touch, my origin. This grief, a lost daughter's only gesture. I've unlearned how to love that dear body, the arms that held us, and the lips that kissed, showed us all how to love all that's lovely. I've taught my heart the ways she won't be missed. Though I know such delusions just delay the truth I hear my traitor tongue say. Forgive the faithless daughter I have been, as I bless my blessed mother yet again. Having a mother in a nursing home is really a depressing experience, as I'm sure many of us know. And one of the poems it's actually about dementia that came to me as she was losing it at the end, is in a new anthology that was just produced by Barefoot News Press, edited by Anna Evans. It's called Forgetting Home, and it's really a wonderful collection of poems if you're interested in this topic. And this little poem is in that book. And it's called Dementia. This trope, a backwards living, such signage eases grace, unbecoming what you've been. The falling of the face it took decades to grow into. It takes knowing who you are before you start forgetting what you've come here for. The letting go, a talent. The carelessness, a skill. You'll never miss yourself. The others will.